Hello everyone, this is Kaifu here with Game 2 in a series between Franky and Kiddo. Franky on my left side is playing the white starter deck, using the white starter deck's healing power to last long enough in the game and in order to do a large chunk of damage at the late end of the game. So this deck is a very late game setup, so you can just stall up with your healing power and know that putting a lot of big resident on the field and pumping each other up, doing a lot of lethal damage on the board. While on my right side we have Kiddo playing an aggressive red starter deck. So the red starter deck allows you to do some early game rush, early game easy minor damage to the board, and able to do a lot of damage to the point that your opponent can't recover too much in the game. So let's get back to the game itself. Currently both players are setting up on the field, so it does give Franky the extra advantage he needs because he is going first. It allows him to set up his field, able to gain field advantage, and not only that, able for him to set up to stall the game long enough to the point that he can do enough damage on the board. Now, as I said before in game 1, the reason why I didn't upload too much video is because due to the fact that I was being busy. Not only that, my software keeps crashing each time I'm rendering, so this is the only time I actually reinstall it and so on allows me to do it. So at the moment, Franky is going a bit aggressive now, attacking directly with his Gwen and forcing the red dragon egg, the egg itself, to rest itself, so the 300 damage goes directly to Kiddo instead of the egg being blocked. So putting down Kiddo down to 3,700 compared to Franky's 4,000 life points. And then dropping another resident on the field. I think that resident is called Master. I can't remember. Master. I can't actually remember the name. What it does is it's a free cost 6/6. What it does is you can tap yourself, target a resident with 2 costs or lower. You gain 200 attack, 200 defense, so it can actually buff a lot of attack onto a single resonator. So giving that Gwen instead of 300, you can give Gwen's 500 instead. Not only that, allow Gwen to have the extra defense you need to block or survive any combat damage. So which is a good thing overall. Now, Kiddo is delayed at the moment because the reason why is that I don't think he draw any of his good 1-drops or any of his rush cards, allows him to do any aggressive plays at the moment, so not in a good position. But he did drop a spell card which is called, I think it was Flame King Shout, I believe. What it does is that it deals 400 damage to every single resonator on your opponent's side field, and you can put a resident with 3 costs or less from your hand onto the field and gain Swift until the end of the turn. So allow to give Elixir a lot of AoE damage on the board, and not only that, a lot of aggressive play, dropping like that Drake on the field. That Drake has the ability called, I think it was Flying, I believe. Yeah, Flying, Wyvern or whatever, I think it's Wyvern, yeah. Wyvern has the ability of flying, 600 attack, 600 defense, and you can pay 1 red to gain extra 200 attack until the end of the turn. So very aggressive at the moment, forcing Franky to lose his Gwen, the only Gwen he has in his deck at the moment. And next, Franky does play the castle on the field, which will allow him to start buffing up his own resonator to the point that it's really strong, and to the point that it can overrun the opponent's resonators with 2 open magic stones at the moment. So meaning that Franky might have a lot of interaction in his hand in response to Kiddo's attack. Even through Kiddo, it does have the extra aggressive plays. It doesn't mean that Franky can't stop, because I do see quite a bit of interaction spells such as Pride of the King's Knight, Pride of the Knights, I believe. Like I said before, guys, I don't remember the names off the top of my head, the card's name that is. And I think I do see Justice, I believe, the Sword of Justice. Next, he does play the 2-drop resonator, which it does. I think her name was what's her name? Hector de Marvis, I believe. What it does is that when it comes to play, target resident you control, or target resident on the field anyway, gains 400 attack until the end of the turn, so giving the extra aggressive power he needs. And in comes the double Justice Sword, which allows to do 500 point damage directly to a resident that is attacking or blocking by your opponent's control. So it's a mini thunder, which is a nice thing for the white trial deck, allowing you to have an extra defense often, because white doesn't have a lot of defense besides healing power. So pretty much that Justice Sword allows him to get rid of problematic card and get rid of that problematic Wyvern, because Wyvern is flying. So unless Franky get rid of it right away, that thing will be doing a lot of damage on the board. Next, Franky dropped the Tristan on the field. Tristan has the ability to gain swiftness if you control another round table on the battlefield. I think that was his name, Tristan. Yeah, Tristan is his name, and whenever this card attack Resonator you control gains 100 attack, 100 defense, so it buffs up all your opponents, not your opponent, buffs up all your other Resonator as well, giving the extra power he needs. In comes the flying dragon, doing 400 point damage directly to Franky, putting him down to 3,600 life point, and putting another dragon down by Kiddo, giving the extra offense. Not only that dragon, what it does is that when it goes to graveyard, it can target Resonator on the field and burn 400 damage onto that on single Resonator. So what does that mean? So it gives the extra defense that Kiddo needs, because if those dragon dies while blocking or attacking, able to destroy, or not destroy, able to burn 400 point damage directly to a single Resonator. It gives that extra opportunity to like get rid of a little minion such as the Tempest Monk, or even any 2 drops of below get within range for it. Sometimes 3 drops as well, depending what the stat is, but the Draco is really powerful overall. Paying 2, gaining 200 life point by the rules ability, so you're gaining extra life. Not in that, Franky does have the castle on the field, buffing up a Resonator he can control by 300 attack, 300 defense, so buffing up Tristan by 300 attack, 300 defense, putting him on 900 attack, 900 defense. So once Tristan declares an attack, it also buffs all Resonator on the field by 100 attack, 100 defense. So which is really good, so it gives the extra oomph he needs to do a lot of damage on the field. Let's see what can Franky do in this situation. Currently life point wise 3,800 compared to 3,700 life point. Paying 2 at the moment, dropping another castle on the field. Very scary now, because those castles do stack, and what does castle do? For each time you heal or gain life points, you're able to target a resident on the field plus 300 attack, 300 defense. So it gives the extra offense, extra defense he needs each time you gain life. Not only that, he's at 4 untapped Magic Stone. What does that mean? He can actually use the rules ability to gain 200 at the start of before his recover phase, and buffing his Resonator really high attack points, and to the point that Kiddo cannot actually ignore those Resonator now, because he has to do something about it, because those Resonator can do more damage than his Resonator at the moment. Because when it comes to the late game, Red doesn't have a lot of red game end gamer unless he drops like a Blazer or something. Obviously Blazer does not exist in this starter deck, so it doesn't help at all. Playing another what do you call it? King's Flames, nothing King's Flames, Flames Kings shouts, allowing to 400 AoE damage directly to opponent's Resonator. Incoming another 400 point damage, and another 400 point damage from the dragon, or the Drake should I say. And in comes Drake, no, Dragoon, or should I say. Dragoon was dropped down by the spell, so what it does is that it has target attack as 500 attack, 500 defense. So at the moment, all Resonator has AoE damage by 500 attack, 500 defense, but targeting the master. But however, Franky does drop the Knight's Pride. Knight's Pride, what it does is that Pride of Night, should I say. What it does is that it's able to target a Resonator or J-Roll you control and gains 200 attack, 200 defense on the end turn, and you gain 2 life at the same time. So what does that mean? The 2 castles on the field able to buff up the Resonator by 200 attack, 200 defense, and so on. And let's see, paying 2 more reds by Franky to gain, not 2 more reds, 2 more whites to gain more life, and using another Pride of Night and gain more life and gain more attack as well. Now the reason why he's doing this because Kiddo is going very aggressive, trying to kill a lot of his Resonator away, and obviously with the 2 castles on the field able to pump each other up, and not only that, the burn spells that Kiddo uses is wasted now because he couldn't do much damage. Not only that, whatever damage just dealt by Kiddo at the moment is being recovered by Franky's heal powers, so pretty much he's healing his life point back to 3,600, back to normal, back to almost normal anyway, putting him in a very strong position to the point that Kiddo is getting overwhelmed. He can't do any good early game damage at the moment. So in the following play, Kiddo has to do something later on, because if he can't do anything at the moment, he only has 2 Drake and on the field, and those 2 Drake can't really do much. He has an egg on the field, egg which can be a filter to search for cards you need, but however, it doesn't really do much at the moment because it's almost past the late game already. not late game, past the mid game already. So he's going towards the late game where it shines for Franky, because Franky has all the setup his need, getting 400 life point, and now that the castle stack as well, pumping 400 attack, 400 defense, not 400 attack, 400 defense, 300 attack, 300 defense. The Resonator, not only that, buffing all Resonator by 100 attack, 100 defense he controls, so really powerful. Paying 2 whites, no, paying 2 whites, and I don't know sure what he pays 2 white for. Tapping for another magic stone. Oh, he actually put another Resonant on the field. I couldn't see because his hand was blocking. So getting him very overwhelmed by Franky. Now Franky's still at 4,000 life point with the ability gaining power and not allowing Kiddo to do any aggressive play. So putting him in a really bad position. Even he attacks with the Drakes at the moment. Franky can slowly heal his life back to full health almost because of his rules ability, which is really nice. And not in that, even Kiddo does not attack at the start of before Franky's recover phase, he can actually tap 2 more. Tap total of 4 magic stone to gain 400 life, and when he does, he actually able to buff his resident by extra more power to the point that you can't really do much against your opponent. Opponent can't do much against you, shall I say. Not much you can do at the moment. A Drake attacking directly to the Tristan, but he wants to use the Drake's ability to burn 400 point damage and trying to burn that directly. And obviously paying 2 lights, so you gain 200 light points, and buffing the Resonator on, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry guys, like I said before, I can't remember names off the top of my head. So gain 2 more life points by putting that Resonator out of range from getting shot by the Drake's ability, because I believe that Resonator is only 400 attack, 400 defense, not very high. So yeah, so let's see what he can do now in this situation. Franky's thinking what he should do now because he is in control, and Kiddo is in like a really poor position at the moment. Even though he has a lot of fire magic stone to play with, but his hand is very low on resource at the moment. I see a Demon's Flame, I see some other stuff on his belt. I don't think he can overwhelm the field at the moment with the field full of castle, which can buff his Resonator by 300 attack, 300 defense, which is really good, to the point that he can overwhelm your opponent and do enough damage on board to finish the game off, and putting your opponent in low resource state, what you can't do. So let's see what can Kiddo do in this situation. Kiddo is not in a strong position like I said before, but if he uses his card correctly, he can play around it, but very low chance he can do anything about it, because at the moment with full life point, he can't pressure Franky anymore. By not pressuring Franky anymore, he can't really do much. Because like in what the red star deck is supposed to do, able to do a lot of damage on the board in the early game to able to like give extra oomph in these to finish the game off. And obviously Kiddo overextend his resources, tapped out, using Demon's Flame and using Rule's ability to burn off that single Resonator that he wants to get rid of, and all that just to kill 1 Resonator. And not only that, Franky still has full life points, not only that he has the option to Judgment, and when he does Judgment, he might able to finish the game off with a lot of massive damage. So untapping his own magic stone and so on. And yeah, let's see what happens. And also the reason why the Drake the egg is in tap position, because when that Resonator goes to the graveyard, you tap a Resonator your opponent controls, so pretty much less defense for your opponent to play with, which is kind of scary, because now this is the opportunity where Franky can go for game at this moment. Because I think he buffed up his Resonator by 200 attack, 200 defense, well, 2 of them anyway. One on the one just died, but however, let's see what Franky can do. Franky can do a lot of damage on the field, depending what he does anyway. Franky has 1 card in hand at the moment, can't really do much, but he does have the option to do lethal damage, almost lethal damage on board, and now that get rid of Kiddo's field presence, not allowing him to have any aggressive plays, and only Kiddo only has 2 cards in hand, or 1 card in hand, can't see from here, 2 cards in hand, so not putting him in a strong position at the moment. And using the chant spell, what it does is that rest the target resident your opponent controls, and all resident you control gains extra, I think 400 attack, 400 defense. Don't quote me on that, I can't remember that on top of my head. And Kiddo decided to scoop it up from here because he can't really do much in this situation. And so this game is going to Franky. So game 2 goes to Franky. So Thank you for watching, thank you for listening guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for game 3.